One small step for man, one giant leap for a duck. You horrible rapist. Look at you. What are you thinking about? One thing on your mind. Oh, is that Lynn? Bonnie! My Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the sea. Oh, well, I take it Artie's there. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Agatha. Hi, Satyam. Nice weather for ducks. You wag your tail at me, you little floozy. How's everyone doing? As you can see, pissing down. Just before I started the tour. Here comes the rain again, falling on my heat like a new emotion. Hello Cheryl, love, how's it going? That was a Scouse there, did you hear that, Scouse? I can't do Yorkshire or Lancashire and it goes into a Scouse accent for some bloody reason. Madeline. Michelle. How's it going? Tomorrow's whiskey, alright. Bloody weather. Good weather for ducks, as they say. For anyone watching this on YouTube, after this event, I am talking live. This is being live streamed to people from all around the world. Australia, Greece, Canada. Anywhere else I've missed out? England. Michelle, hello love. How's it going? Nice weather for ducks today. Oh, there's the police. I'm getting arrested for crimes against virtual touring. Look at them, PC plod. I remember getting chased along here when I was a young kid, and a completely different layout back in these times. And me and my friend were getting chased by the police. So we got down like about down here. I'll use my pointer. I got down about here, and there was a door lying on the side of the water. So me and my friend jumped on the door and sailed across to the other side of the river to avoid getting captured by the police. And my son doesn't believe me. Ah, America! God bless America and all who sail in it. So great to be on a live tour. Yeah, I've been neglecting my live stream duties, to be fair. Yeah, I know, it's quite handy, this wee pointer. And here we have over here a willow tree. I'm hoping it's going to stop raining in a minute. It's been quite heavy rain this morning, actually. Oh, I've had quite a dramatic day today. A monumental effort. Monumental mistake I made today. It's raining here. We wouldn't mind. Where are you? Fez, where's that? Is that Morocco? Where are you in? You're never sure where gallivanting around the world, you know. This little island here. The river used to be tidal. Well, it's not a river. The water of Leith used to be tidal, and it got locked off at high tide in 1969 by that useless idiot Prince Philip. And the river used to be 20 feet deep in places, but they've never cleaned it. So the river, you can actually walk across it. Look, you can see all the stuff at the bottom of the river. Look, horrible, filthy rats. Oh God. Well, I woke up this morning feeling like death. Ill, sick as a bad, really feeling sick this morning. And I got an email yesterday from an American travel agent reminding me about a tour I had booked on the 27th, and am I still going? It was a private tour for 4 Americans. I'm like, yeah, of course. So just confirmed all the details again, and then thought it was the 27th of August. Oh, there's 2 ducks having a pagger. Yeah, I thought it was the 27th of August. So I've got up this morning feeling like death. Got on the bus. Yeah, the ducks having a fight. Got on the bus. 3/4 of the way up, I'm feeling like rough as a badger's butt. And yeah, I figured out it was the 27th of September I was supposed to go. And this is like, I'm getting up, I'm on the bus at like 8 o'clock in the morning. In fact, even before, like 7:45 in the morning, I'm on the bus. 25 to 8 this morning, and I'm on the bus. 3/4 of the way up to my job, feeling like death, and I realised it was the 27th of September, not August. So I was devastated. Bonnie Stricker, where's the information? Hello Bonnie. Where's the information for donations? I don't know if somebody can put the link to the Invisible Cities in the chat. Can somebody do that? I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if you can put the link to the donations in the chat. But if you go on Facebook, on my Facebook page, Paul James Stewart, there's a link to the crowdfunder there. So every donation you make today gets doubled. So even if you donate like a couple of bucks, a couple of pound, it gets added, it gets doubled by a Viva Community Fund. So Invisible Cities are doing a campaign, a crowdfunding campaign. Initially it was to raise £2,000. So they raised the £2,000 pretty quickly. So they extended the target to £4,000, but it ends tomorrow, I think, or the day after. And they've only just raised over 2,170. So if anyone wants to make a donation to Invisible Cities, can you please do so? And thank you very much to everyone who has donated so far. As I say, the donations get doubled. Invisible Cities is a big part of my life. And we can't put the link in the chat. Ah, okay. Do you have the live stream events calendar? The link is in the event description. Alright, okay, thanks for that one. Yeah, so I was a bit cheesed off this morning, getting up for no reason, especially when I was feeling like death. You know, I've been feeling sick all day. So, at 8:20 this morning, I'm at the top of Leith, knowing not what to do. And all the cafes opened at 9. Well, most of the cafes opened up at 9 o'clock. So I thought, what can I do? Then I noticed there was a barber's open at 8:30. Oh, there was a barber's open, so I went and got my hair cut. Then I went for breakfast, and I only ate half my breakfast. I got halfway through, but I was actually feeling not too bad. By the time I got my hair cut, I was feeling okay. And then I started eating my breakfast, and I got halfway through it, and I started feeling, oh, Jesus, holy moly. So I've just came home and tried to sleep. And I thought I wasn't going to do the tour because I'm feeling so rough. But I thought I'm doing it for Invisible City, so I'll go out and I'll do the tour, just do a quick tour, you know, and I'll reschedule a tour for the weekend. Saturday I think I'm off. I'm working on Sunday, but I might be off on Saturday, so I might schedule another tour. Yeah, because it's now bloody pissing down with rain as well. It's been a really wet year this year. It's been the wettest year we've ever had in Scotland. And Cheryl, you were saying it's going to be sunny next week, is it? Ah, but that doesn't include Scotland. It never includes Scotland. I remember I was doing a Hago tour once. I've just remembered about this thing here. This thing flying from Umbrella. I just remembered I was doing a tour in the wind and the rain, snow. It was like -5 or something like that Celsius. And I'm doing a tour, my hands freezing cold, my nose is running. I'm doing a Hago tour. And this little thing here was flapping in front of the screen. And somebody came on the screen, Paul, can you move that thing? Can you turn your umbrella around? It's getting in my way. And I'm like, aye, thanks very much. No problem, I'll move it out of the way for you. Ah, Barbie. Hi, Suzanne. How's life? Canada? Hopefully you've been having some quite nice weather in Canada. A bit humid, right enough, I've been hearing, but anyway. That's not so good, but yeah, we've had a terrible year. It's been a brutal year for weather-wise. It's been so wet. Oh yeah. And I've got an umbrella and I'm holding a gimbal and I've got a really itchy nose. Ah, I could do with having 3 hands. Is that right, Lynn? You've it as well? Yeah, move it out the way. I remember when I first started doing Hago, it was in the winter, it was in January. And the weather, we had actually really good snow in Edinburgh. And I'd done 2 tours back to back. And I was walking up Calton Hill in a blizzard, there was like 4-foot snow. I'm walking up Calton Hill in a blizzard. I had no fear back in these days 3 years ago. And somebody sniffed my nose, you know. I can't blow my nose because I've got an umbrella, a gimbal, and I can't blow my nose. So I had to sniff my nose. And somebody complained. Somebody left a bad review. Can Paul not blow his nose before the tour starts? Oh, I'm sorry for doing a tour in the blizzard conditions, white out, walking up Colton Hill for you, freezing cold, no gloves on. You used to get the most ridiculous reviews on Hago, and like most people didn't tip. And you used to get people who would leave a 1-star review. You know, you're going out your way, maybe they didn't get my sense of humour, whatever, and they'd leave you like a bad review, and all you're doing is trying to do your best. Some of them used to make me laugh. I got a review once from somebody on Hago, and somebody says, what was it? Was Paul drunk? Was Paul drunk? 3 stars. And it was because the person didn't agree with my political position on the UK Tory corrupt government. Yeah, then somebody else, what was the review somebody else left? Does Paul speak English? Yeah, some of them, as I say, some of them just had to laugh. I see the wee birdies. Hello, wee birdies. The brambles are ripe now, look. They're not very good ones, ones. There's a cracker that's got a feather on it. Look, the brambles are good. Where are they all? People have been eating them. Never eat the they're getting it. They're actually over ripe now. You need to eat them or they'll be away. Look, 3 blackberries. Never eat the ones at the bottom, they tell you, because the dogs pee on them. Oh, gee whiz. Yeah, you used to get some mad and bad reviews on Hago. You could actually email them and ask them to remove the review. And most of the times Hago were quite good, you know, they would remove the review or allow you to respond to the person. Yeah, because the person who said to me, "Are you drunk, Paul?" or "Was Paul drunk?" At first I thought it was quite funny, right? But I was doing the tours for Invisible Cities. And Invisible Cities are obviously the homeless organisation that helped people to become a tour guide. They train homeless people to become tour guides, yeah? And the guy says, "Was Paul drunk?" And I laughed. I thought, that's quite funny, actually. But then I thought, no, that's quite offensive. Because the person knew I was doing it for Invisible Cities, you know. Every time I'd done the tour, there's a little apple tree. There's a little apple tree there. Every time I'd done the tour, I was telling people not very many apples on it. I wonder if they're cooking apples. Yeah, I used to tell people I'm doing the tours for Invisible Cities. And so then I found it quite offensive, you know, because we've got tour guides that have got addiction problems. Or they could have, or might have had, you know. So, yeah, I got them to remove it. Can you tell us a little bit about the history? Hello, Paul. How you doing? Yeah, so Invisible Cities started now, what, must be 8 years ago, nearly 9 years ago. Invisible Cities started by French lady Zakia. So Zakia is French. She came to Scotland 14 years ago and she worked for homeless people in an organisation called Social Bite. And Social Bite are a homeless organisation, a not-for-profit organisation who employ homeless people, they feed the homeless people, they have homeless tiny house villages. And when I was homeless 8 years ago, luckily I wasn't on the streets, I was selling the Big Issue, the homeless magazine, and I started to volunteer for Social Bite. And then they told me about an organisation called Invisible Cities, because Zakia, the boss, used to work for Social Bite. And they said, oh, they're a homeless organisation that train homeless people to become tour guides, not-for-profit social enterprise. And I'd always wanted to be a tour guide, you know, I love Scottish history, but I was very nervous in talking. You know, I used to shake and my anxiety through the roof, you know. And yes, so I applied to become a tour guide, and I completed the training, and then I went to college to do other tour guide training as well. So I'm a qualified tour guide, and the name of the tour guide course I did was called Developing Skills on How to Become an Effective Tour Guide. I'll repeat that. Developing Skills on How to Become an Effective Tour Guide. Now, could it not have just come up with like tour guide training? But no, developing skills on how to become an effective tour guide. So I completed that as well, got a certificate, and then started doing tours for invisible cities. Train spotting was my very first tour. Now I've launched my own company. Look. Oh, I wonder who put that flyer there. Look. Paul James Stewart Tours. Oh, I recognise that guy. Check my website here. Paul James Stewart Tours. Yeah, so I started doing train spotting tours because I didn't want to be in Edinburgh because it's just too busy. But then I had to start doing other tours for other tour guides who might not turn up on occasion. So I started doing a tour called Crime and Punishment. I then started doing tours about females of Edinburgh called Powerful Women of Edinburgh. And that was actually a really good tour because I'm a feminist. I've been a feminist since I was a teenager. And it was actually really good to do a tour about females. Because it's always men that get talked about, you know, and it's always men who get mentioned most in history, not her story. Although I've now bought a book called Her Story, actually, about Scottish heroines. In fact, I was going to go up here, actually. I forgot. I'll go up here. I was going to show you about a Scottish woman, actually. And, yeah, then I got headhunted by an American tour company called Grand Circle and Overseas Adventure Travel. They asked me to, because I had really good reviews on TripAdvisor. Most of Invisible Cities reviews were mine. I'm not being big-headed, that's just the way it works. Oh yeah, Jesus, it's getting windy now. And yeah, so they asked me to apply for a job as a tour leader. So I had to go through for a 3-day training session in Glasgow. Then they asked me if I wanted a job. They offered me a job. And that was in 2020. What happened in March 2020? COVID! And then COVID happened, but a year before COVID, I had a stroke of luck when it came to virtual touring. I was just walking along the street in Leith and I bumped into an old friend who I used to work with. And he knew my name, right? And it's one of the occasions where you know who the guy is, but you don't know their name. And I couldn't remember his name at all. But he was carrying a gimbal and he had a 360 camera. And I says, "What's that?" He said, "That's a gimbal on my 360 camera." He said, "I go about making little videos and a live stream yoga classes from Bali." I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. So a year before COVID, I bought a gimbal and a 360 camera. And I just started going about, you know, trying to teach myself how to work the gimbal and the 360 camera. And then you could also attach your phone to it as well. And then when COVID happened, we started doing tours on Zoom, because I had my gimbal. We started doing them from home first and then live. And then Hago started, well, they were called virtual tours back then. So virtual tours started. And because I had a gimbal for a year in advance, I was in the right place at the right time. And I became one of the top virtual tour guides in the world. Top 15. I could have been in the top 10. But I don't like doing tours at night. So you had to do tours at night, like UK time, because to get the Americans and the Canadians. I've done a few tours at night, but not too many, so I could have done a lot better at the virtual touring, but I've done alright. And then my train spotting tour helped Invisible Cities to win the best community tour in the world in 2021. Burials from 1664 to 1820. What was that you said, Darty, back there? I missed that. Oh, the St Andrews one. Oh yeah, because somebody had mentioned... Oh, what happened there? Somebody had mentioned something about seeing me in shorts. So, no, I can't remember how it all started, but yeah, this woman in St Andrews got cheesed off with me because I said something about, oh, just imagine seeing me running along in the sand with my shorts on or something like that, or naked. Was it naked? Possibly. I can't remember. But yeah, this woman took the pure huff and said she was going, and I think she reported me as well. You know. Hey ho. Yeah, so I've always kept in touch with Invisible Cities. I now help to train and mentor some of the tour guides. I started doing that before I left Invisible Cities. I left Invisible Cities 3 years ago now, because after COVID, the world opened back up. I'd started doing panel tours of Edinburgh, coach tours, castle tours, and I just needed to go out and do my own thing, you know, so I left Invisible Cities. Yeah, I kept in touch with them, and so I'm still doing work with them now, so it's always been a big part of my life, you know, they changed my life, Invisible Cities. So every so often, I do a fundraising tour for them. So we started off in Edinburgh, we then moved to Manchester in England, Manchester, Invisible York, where it's still legal to kill a Scots person after midnight within the city walls and be carrying a bow and arrow. We are also in Invisible Glasgow. It's been really hard to recruit in Glasgow, however. Although we have got two new Glaswegian tour guides, who one is South American and one is Australian. But anyway, yeah, some of the Glasgow people are quite hard to understand. We have a tour guide called Angie, and she's a lovely, lovely lady, but she just doesn't know how to speak in not in Glaswegian language, you know. Ben gone down there, Ben down the corner. Calls bairns wains and all that, you know, calls kids wains. Lovely girl, but so yeah, Glasgow's been quite hard to recruit. So we're going to be recruiting again in October. Oh, there's a policeman. Look again. Yeah, Invisible Cities are recruiting again in October in Edinburgh, and they've asked me to do a training session with them. And I'm doing a job for them on Tuesday or Monday as well. Monday, Tuesday, I'm doing a job for them. And yeah, as I say, so if you've got any spare cash, a couple of £, every donation gets doubled. So if you stick in a £5, it becomes a tenner. Or you stick in $3, it becomes $6. Oh, my nose. God, it's still raining, man. Look at this old gravestone. It's been quite weathered, but have you heard of the word gallus? Gallus is a Scots word, spelt Gallus, gallus. It's very much a Scottish word. We speak 3 languages in Scotland: English, Gaelic, and Scots. Scots and English are both Germanic in origin, and Gaelic is similar to the Irish Gaelic, you know. Only 2% of the population speak Gaelic, but yeah, Gallus is a Scots word, meaning bold. And the lady we're going to talk about now was certainly Gallus. She was a supporter of Bonnie Prince Charlie and King James, the Stuarts, the Catholic Stuarts, who'd been kicked off the throne of Britain in the so-called Glorious Revolution of 1688, when James, his daughter Mary, betrayed him. He was kicked off the throne for his daughter and her Dutch Protestant husband, Prince William of Orange. King James fled into exile. A battle took place in Ireland. His troops gathered up. And the Battle of the Boyne in 1690 took place. The Catholics lost. The Jameses lost. But Prince William of Orange was acting on orders of the Pope. And that led to a series of battles called the Jacobite rebellions. Jacob is Latin for James. So Jacobite is the supporters of James, the Catholic Stuarts. Hello. Hello, Don. How you doing? How's life? Look at this, 1832. So that led to a series of Jacobite rebellions from 1689 onwards, 1715 and so on. And the final one took place in 1745, when Bonnie Prince Charlie came to Scotland with 7 men and raised the standard and asked the clans of Scotland to unite behind him and put his father on the throne of Britain. Make Scotland an independent country. And some people think it was a Scotland v England battle. There was Scots and English on both sides. There was Manchester Jacobites. There was Scots and the British, the Hanoverian forces as well. There was families on opposite sides of the Jacobite rebellions. And Bonnie Prince Charlie, his grandfather was King James II, the 7th of Scotland, who had been disposed of the crown. And this turned out to be the last Jacobite rebellion, the last battle fought on British soil in April 1746. And this is where this lady comes in, Lady Anne Mackintosh. A gallus Scots lady she was. She was a landowner. She was a lady. Lady Anne Mackintosh. She was a supporter of the Jacobites. However, her husband was a British officer in the Hanoverian army. Because the Hanoverians had taken over from the Dutch Protestants. In 1714, Britain, the last Stuart died. Anne Stuart died, but she was Protestant, so she was on the throne. But she died in 1714. England and Scotland had joined in 1707 to create Britain. And they then invited the Hanoverians, the Germans, to take over the British royal family. So we went from the Dutch Protestants to the German Protestants. Hanover was a colony, a British colony in Germany at the time. The first King George I and II couldn't even speak English. Only King George III did. And of course King James IV was the first British monarch to venture north of the border in almost 200 years. They were too scared to come and face the barbarians from Scotland, jumping about the Highlands in their kilts with no underwear. That's a vision you have to remember for the rest of the day. And this is where Lady Anne comes in. So she was a landowner, she had tenants. She raised a regiment of 300 for Bonnie Prince Charlie, despite her husband being an officer in the Hanoverian forces. Who was actually looking for Bonnie Prince Charlie? Now, Lady Anne Mackintosh stayed in a place called Moy, near Inverness, near Culloden, where the final battle took place in 1746. She raised a regiment. When I say raised a regiment, she basically forced her tenants to sign up on the threat of eviction. So that's the dark side of her. Okay? So not beating about the bush, I give the good and the bad and the ugly. So yes, she raised a regiment of 300. She never fought against the Hanoverians, because ladies were not allowed to fight, of course. And Bonnie Prince Charlie, she's hosting Bonnie Prince Charlie in her house. Can you believe that? Her husband's out looking for Bonnie Prince Charlie. So her husband finds out that Bonnie Prince Charlie's in his house. And he's getting a bit concerned, you know. And he decides to march upon his own house to try and capture Bonnie Prince Charlie. However, a Jacobite servant had got ahead of the advancing British army. There's about 1,500 men. And Lady Anne Mackintosh only had a handful of servants. And she said to them, great, go out with a drum and a couple of guns, make as much noise as you can and try and hold off the British forces. I'll get the prince dressed and we'll hastily make an escape. So the servants went out into the pitch black night. They made as much noise as they possibly could. The bagpiper got killed at the front of the British army. And the British army were so terrified, they thought the whole might of the Jacobite army was advancing upon them. And they all ran away. They all ran away like cowards. And Bonnie Prince Charlie entered the Inverness the next day without firing a shot. It became known as the Rout of Moy. The Rout of Moy. The Jacobite battle, the Battle of Culloden, took place in April 1746. It was a massive defeat for the Jacobites. Bonnie Prince Charlie escaped. 1,500 men got killed. And the Hanoverians went on a mass campaign of rape, murder and pillage around the Highlands of Scotland. And Lady Anne Mackintosh was captured and she was held as a state prisoner. Her husband gave her the title of Colonel Anne for raising a regiment against Bonnie Prince Charlie. She was well corrected, she was also a lady. So she got given a pardon and escaped with her life. Wasn't it? She escaped with her life. And she moved to Leith. Not long after that, because Leith was a trendy place to live in the 18th century. She's buried here, actually. Colonel Anne, Lady Mackintosh. Colonel Anne. Yeah, she moved to Leith and died here, and she's buried in this cemetery. It's called a cemetery because it hasn't got a church attached to it. And Lady Anne Mackintosh went down to London, and she met the Butcher Cumberland, the Duke of Cumberland, who was in charge of the Hanoverian forces. He was given the title Butcher because of his crimes committed against the Jacobites and against the people of the Highlands. Anyone thought to be associated with the Jacobites were executed, raped, murdered, and so on. Hundreds were taken down to the Tower of London and executed. There's a Jacobite graveyard in London as well. And yeah, she met the Butcher Cumberland at a party in London. And Butcher Cumberland, he recognised Anne and got her up to dance to a British tune. So of course Anne was still a Jacobite supporter. She was none too happy about that. So she decided to get her revenge. So she got the band, the DJ, to put on a Jacobite tune. And she got the Butcher Cumberland up to dance to a Jacobite tune. Don't mess with the Gallus. Lady Colonel Anne Mackintosh. Lovely lady. Yeah, there's a book called, there's a few, she's mentioned in a few Scottish history books. A few Scottish history books she's mentioned too. Lovely, you see the name of the street, Quayside. So that, I just wanted to, I like to tell people about Colonel Anne Mackintosh, because she is classed as a Jacobite heroine. And she is mentioned in a few Scottish history books. There's actually a Scottish history book called Her Story, all about Scottish ladies. I've got a few books. I've got about 5 books on Scottish ladies actually. Maybe even more. Old St Ninian's Church. 16th century church. It's actually a 15th century church, with Dutch style steeple of 1675. Yeah, the original part of the building is 1493, so that's 15th century. It was mostly rebuilt in 1600. As you can see here, this was a Catholic church called St Ninian's. It tells you there, I don't know if you can see it. Blessed are they who hear the Lord and keep it. 1600, that's when it was Protestant, of course. It was a Catholic church. And then the Dutch style steeple was 1675. Lovely Grade A listed building. As I say, it's the oldest building in Leith. Well, it might have stopped raining actually. Might have stopped raining. I might be able to put my umbrella down in a minute. It's still slightly raining. A little bit. It's nearly finished, but the rain. It's a lovely building, isn't it? Yeah, Leith got destroyed by Henry VIII in 1544 and then again in 1547 during the so-called Rough Wooing period, where Henry tried to force the marriage between his son Edward and Mary, Queen of Scots, when she was going to be 10 years old. Henry was trying to turn Scotland into a Protestant country, unite the crowns of England and Scotland and steal all the wealth from the Catholic Church as he did in England. But Mary, Queen of Scots' mother was Mary de Guise, who was French, Mary of Guise, and she wanted to maintain the French alliance. So Henry launched war on Scotland. Leith was destroyed twice. Mary was packed off to France for her safety, of course, and then Mary de Guise built a fort around Leith, built a palace with a parliament, that big white building there. That's where Mary, Queen of Scots, held court. She became regent of Scotland, the ruler of Scotland in 1555. And yeah, that's where she ruled Scotland from. Leith was the most fortified area in Europe. In fact, I keep on forgetting, I'll need to do that tour about the siege of Leith from home. I've got an at-home tour to do about the siege of Leith, because the French troops were here for 12 years. And before the Scots had to ask the English for help to get rid of them. The English failed at that too, and it was only upon the death of Mary of Guise that Scotland turned Protestant and the French left. So yeah, I'll need to do a tour about that. Try and remind me. That house, there was a house up for sale. See, oh, where's my... Oh, my pointers went away. This building here, there was a house up for sale, but it's been bought. I don't know if I would like to live there. I think they're too close to your neighbours outside, you know. I don't know. I just want to win the lottery. In fact, the lottery's on tonight. It's about 70, 80 million or something like that. I just want to win the lottery and give all the money away and buy a house in Spain. Of course. I'll be doing some tours on the Camino de Santiago hopefully this year again, look. Paul James Stewart, I wonder who that could be. I've got him everywhere. Oh, I recognise that guy. That's an old Hegel picture, look. I think it might have stopped raining now. 1 second, I'm just going to go over here and try and get my umbrella down. I'll need to remember and do that tour from home, Siege of Leith. My friend's done a couple of really good videos about it. There we go. Yeah, and I'm going to Spain in October as well, so hopefully we're going to be meeting up with a virtual tour guide. How's my knee? Well, I've still got my knee strapped up. You know, I got this big strapping thing in Spain when I done my knee in. And I've been wearing that almost every day, to be fair. So, I'm just going to put my umbrella away, everyone. It's eventually stopped raining now, so that's good. So I'm off to St Andrews tomorrow for a tour. I've got to take a tour group around Edinburgh and do a tour of Mary King's Close tomorrow. You know, the underground city, which I've never done actually. I wonder if I should go in and see what it's like. The Mary King's Close in Edinburgh. So you go and see a couple of streets. They built another street level above some houses back in the olden days when the old town got demolished and so on. So, my thumb. And then I've got to go to St Andrews in the afternoon. I was supposed to be going to Edinburgh in the afternoon and they changed it because I was supposed to be going for dinner with my family. And ended up, I'm not going to get back till like 7:30, so I had to can the dinner was going to be at 6. You know, they've got a young baby. So I'm only going to go see my family now tomorrow because I've got to go to St Andrews. So then I was going to see them on Sunday, and I'm away to bloody another tour on Sunday. So I can't go on Sunday. My son and his fiancée and their daughter are really popular. You've got to book an appointment 2 weeks in advance to see them. It's nice here, isn't it? This is the salubrious part of Leith, what the Guardian would call the Michelin Mile, because there's 3 Michelin star restaurants here. It must be the closest 3 Michelin star restaurants in the world. You've got a Michelin star restaurant there, right? So you've got 100 yards. You've got another one there, Martin Wishart's. You've got Heron, Martin Wishart's, and you can walk on the road, pal. Weirdo. And then you've got Tom Kitchen just around the corner. Just round there. Tom Kitchen. In fact, what's his name from Outlander? Jamie from Outlander was there last week. Sam Hawken, is it Hawken? I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his name. Sam Hawken, the guy who plays Jamie in Outlander, he was at Tom Kitchen last week. All the celebs go there, you know. Tom Kitchen. Look at that. Yeah, it's very picturesque in Leith. Well, this part is. Other parts are not so nice, you know what I mean? But yeah, I tried to do a Michelin star food tour, you know, when I started my new company this year, because I stopped doing the extended tours because it was too much for me. I'm not the most organised person in the world, so I thought I just want to do day tours, you know. Oh, my flowers are missing from there. And so I started my own business this year. Spent a few £1,000 on my website. I don't know if it was worth it, you know, because I'm getting most of my work not from my website. You know, because I'm doing like cruise work and private tours and tours for people, you know, companies. So I don't know if it was worth getting my website. My website's great, nothing wrong with my website, but I just don't know if it was worth it, because I'm getting most of my work just from like people I know in the industry, hotels, companies who get in touch with me. So yeah, I don't know if I should have spent as much money on my website, but I suppose it's there now, you know what I mean. There's the Leith flag. See the Leith flag, beautiful, isn't it? Leith was created 1128, 4 years after Edinburgh was created. Leith was created as a completely separate borough. That's the Leith flag. The seal of the town of Leith, it says in Latin there. Persevere is the motto. Because we got destroyed by the English twice, we've been bombed by the Nazis. The Black Plague in 1645 wiped out half of Leith. Oliver Cromwell occupied us, the French occupied us. And we've persevered. Okay, that's what the motto. And you see the lady in the boat, that's supposed to be the Virgin Mary, who obviously wasn't from Leith. Don't get very many virgins in Leith nowadays. But yeah, some people think it's the Mary Magdalene instead. You know, so it's supposed to be the Virgin Mary holding the child of Jesus, but some people think it's Mary Magdalene escaping with the child of Jesus. You know? Oh, look. Everywhere you go. My flyer's coming off. No, they last so long. I'll need to come down and put some new flyers up and some sellotape on them. Now, the topless tour buses come down here now, and they talk about train spotting on the coaches. It's so funny. They talk about train spotting, you know, because the train spotting flats, so the banana flats are just around the corner here. And, oh, in fact, I'm raging, man. Some Spanish guys doing train spotting tours. One of my friends seen them on Get Your Guide. The Spanish, like, what's he doing? So I knew he was a tour guide, And he had a few people with him, about 4 people with him. And I thought, what's he doing? It turns out he's doing a train spotting tour in Spanish. So I'm going to tell him, you need to change that title, pal. You know? And he's only charging £10 a person. My tours are £20 a person, you know, that's taking money away from me. I can't stop him being a tour guide, obviously, but out of respect, he shouldn't be doing the train spotting tours, you know. That's my job. So I'm going to ask him nicely the first time I see him. And say, look, pal, I'm going to explain to him that's pretty disrespectful what you've done, you know. So, yeah, I'm going to speak to him nicely at first. Politely ask him to change the title, you know, to remove the train spotting. Oh no, there's been no siren today. There's old buddy's getting picked up. South Edinburgh Amenities Group. Quite good to get taken away to a wee club all day and they get lunch and all that and do like wee party things and everything. So that's quite good. Here's a new bar opening. This bar's been closed for about a year. So this was just recently opened up. What's this say up here? The Salvation of Leith. Oh, it's starting to rain again. This building housed the Association for the Improvement of the Condition of the Poor in Leith from 1872 to 1953. It was a ragged school for destitute children, as well as a nursery for the disadvantaged, a soup kitchen, a clothing exchange and a boarding house. The building was also used as a house of call, where shore dockers and labourers were paid their wages away from the allure of alcohols or other temptations. Excuse me. For a long period, the association employed only leithers or local journeymen and would offer charity and assistance to the needy from anywhere in the world, except Edinburgh. Except Edinburgh. I like that, that's quite funny. To this day, we remain a house of salvation, alibi a different kind, a neighbourhood bar and grill, to gather away from the daily grind over great food and drink. We continue to work to raise funds for local charities to this day. And yes, we also now welcome people from Edinburgh too, because Leith was taken over by Edinburgh. We had quite a bad relationship with Edinburgh. We got taken over in 1920 and we got independence in 1833, right enough. What's the food? This is the food menu. Charcuterie board, £27.50. 3 Scottish cheeses, 3 cured meats, including venison. What's that? Bresaola, block garlic chorizo, salami, chutney, house pickles and honey. Or a mezze board. Aleppo chili hummus, muhammar or something. House pickles, dips, snacks. Not a very extensive menu, right enough, but it might be alright. The fat fries, £3.50, pretty reasonable. Looks quite nice in there, but I'll need to go in there. I'll need to come back and see what it's like. Beer, wine and cocktails. Wonder if they do a porn star martini. I'm still trying to look for a porn star martini. Look, the rain's back on again. I've had to put the umbrella back on. Yeah, I just think out of respect, you shouldn't be doing a train spotting tour. You know, that's my niche tour. That may be like going to Spain and just copying one of his tours that he'd been doing for a long time. You know, I wouldn't do that. I can't stop him being a tour guide in Leith. Obviously, I know I've been the only tour guide here for years, but there are more people coming here now doing tours. So I can't stop them doing that. But yeah, I'm going to ask him to remove the train spot. And see here, it's called Waters Close. It certainly is, it's just there. A close is a lane, obviously. So yeah, they found when Mary de Guise was here, she built a tennis court. So they were doing excavations years ago, you know, archaeological digs, and they found a tennis court round about here. I'm not sure exactly where it was, but they found a tennis court that had been built when Mary de Guise ruled Scotland from Leith. So I'll need to try and find out where it is. When Mary Queen of Scots got packed off to France to marry Francis, he died in 1560, as did her mum. Scotland turned into a Protestant country, and this is where Mary Queen of Scots came back to. And it's called Lamb's House, and yeah, Mary spent a few nights here as well. She spent a few nights here. Virtual Scotland. Hello, Virtual Scotland. Online guides. Oh, is that Mike, by any chance? Is it? I don't know if that's Mike. Online guide. I'm not sure. Hello, anyway. This is Lamb's House. Yeah, some people think Mary Queen of Scots spent a few nights in here. She did spend a few nights here, but not in this house. Any luck for the statue fundraiser? This is the Consulate of Iceland, as you can see, with the Icelandic flag. Consulate of Iceland. Yeah, I need to get my finger out with the statue. I'm trying to get a statue of Mary Queen of Scots. I've had this dream for about 5 years. I need somebody to help me, you know, do all the admin stuff. Because I just get stressed out and I forget things and all that, so I need the help with all the organisational part of it. Look at this bloody weather, man. It's a nightmare. That's it. In fact, yeah, look how much it is in there for now for the best dinner, right? The tasting menu. I think it's Mike. Is it Mike? Tasting menu, £145. With matching wines, £230. With prestige matching wines, £295. And with prestige matching wines with a glass of Krug champagne as a welcome drink, £370 for dinner. £370 for dinner. Oof. Holy moly me. Do you remember I was talking about the banana flats? The banana flats are just round there. They're the most deprived area in Edinburgh. And we've got 3 Michelin star restaurants. It's nuts, man. Yeah, so allegedly this is where Mary Queen of Scots came ashore when she came back from France. When her husband died, her mother died on the 19th of August 1561. I'll need to come down and read it. This is my area. This is the land the council have given you for my statue. I'll go to McDonald's for a £5 instead. You can't get a McDonald's for a £5 now, lass. You're lucky to get a McDonald's in Edinburgh anyway. McDonald's have went through the roof, seemingly. I think I've been to McDonald's twice this year. I'm not really, McDonald's is not my favourite place, you know, it's too greasy, the burgers. I have a quarter pounder, cheese quarter pounder now and again. But yeah, not very often, I think I've had 2 this year. I've not seen the swans today. I saw them yesterday, they've got the wee swans, had 9 baby swans. And they all survived. So it's got 9 this year. So the mother and father are doing really well. Here's the police come in. I wonder if I put a sign on for us. The police come in down here. The police are coming down here again. I wonder what they're up to. I wonder if they're looking for an international criminal. Leith's finest. The Leith police dismisses us. Used to be a famous saying that. The Leith police dismisses us. They used to say it, you know, for drunk drivers to see if you could pronounce it properly. Excuse me. So this is the plaque for Mary Queen of Scots. I don't know if my gimbal will cope with it. That's all there is, this crappy little plaque here for Mary Queen of Scots. It's terrible. Yeah, so that's what I've been trying for 5 years to get a statue of her. The council have given me that land. So this is where the statue is going to be. I've got the sculptor called David Annard. He's already done a statue of Mary Queen of Scots in Linlithgow. In fact, I'm going to do a tour in the Linlithgow Palace. I'll need to get out there and do a tour about Mary Queen of Scots, where she was born. Yeah, because there's a statue of Mary Queen of Scots there. And it was by a guy called David Annard. But it wasn't his design, it was actually a female's design. It was actually a female artist who had done the design for the Mary Queen of Scots statue in the Linlithgow Palace. But she died before the statue could get made. So he got given the job of finishing the statue, but he had to agree to use her design. And it is quite feminine, you know, it's big high collars. Sorry, something just tickled my throat. A guy walked past a wee minute ago with a cigarette. Sometimes the cigarettes catch in my throat. City Flyer. Hello, City Flyer. You should have called yourself a high flyer. A high flying City Flyer. Hello, whoever you are, anyway. Yeah, so it's still raining. Hopefully it's going to stop again in a minute. Hopefully the weather forecast is better for tomorrow for St Andrews. I've got St Andrews in the afternoon. Victor Hugo. Quite a nice daily that. Victor Hugo, named after the French guy who wrote Les Miserables and the Hunchback in Notre Dame. Nice building here. Only dates back to 2001. Victor Hugo was established in 1955. Yeah, they've got a shop in the posh area of Edinburgh. Yeah, it's French. It's supposed to be French, but it's like Italian American, you know, inside. A lot of the menus got like pastrami and rye with loads of pickles. Bloody rain. It's quite windy as well. Well, look, more flyers. Spin your username. Ah, it's like my name online. On oops. You know, on various websites you can make comments on. My name's always been First Minister. 20 years. Yeah, probably about that for me as well. Yeah, sometimes you've got to get a name and stick with it, haven't you? City Flyer. Oh, I'm just going to go over here, just let you see this bit over here. I'm going to have to finish the tour because it's the wind and the rain are just doing my head in. My phone's, the phones are essentially waterproof these days, but it's the gimbals not, you know. I've already lost a couple of gimbals with the weather in Scotland. I've told them to bloody make them waterproof, the gimbal people, you know. the Ocean Mist Floating Hotel. Very nice on board actually. I got given a tour of that boat. They took some of my flyers for my new business, but I never got any work from them. I gave them and the Fingal some of my flyers they give out to their clients looking for a tour, and the Malmaison Hotel as well. I've never had one call, shout from them. I've had calls, tours from the Gleneagles Hotel, the Voco Hotel, the W Hotel, the Courtyard Marriott, all in Edinburgh, and I've never had one from Leith, despite being a Leith tour guide. Is this not good enough, I tell you, Captain? Oh, I'm going to go over here and see if this rain stopped. So thank you very much for coming on my tour, everyone. If you can make a couple of £1 donation to the Invisible Cities crowdfunding campaign, every pound is doubled to £2. So even if you can only afford £2.50, that can become a fiver. We're trying to recruit new tour guides in October. I'm going to be doing a training session with them as well. They've asked me to do a training session with the new guides to help inspire them to become all they can be in the world, you know. Like talk nonsense like Paul and get away with it. So thank you very much for coming on my tour. See you at South Queensferry. Are you there? I'm on, Mike, are you? I've got Edinburgh, Mary King's Close in the morning, and then St Andrews in the afternoon. Are you doing a private tour, I take it? Look at the pirate flag flying. See above the signal tower? Yeah. You can't see it, but just... I'll try to line up the umbrella. Just this building here at the top of it. There's a pirate flag flying. Susan, I'm glad you enjoyed it. St Andrews all day. Whew. I'll go for fish and chips when I go to St Andrews. Yeah, I go to fish. When the clients, they get free time, I take them down to the Swilcan Bridge for a group photograph. They get a little panel tour of St Andrews. Then they get free time for an hour and a half. I go and get fish and chips. Yeah, so I'm going to start doing more tours again, okay? I just stopped doing them when my sister died, so I need to start doing them again. So I'm going to start getting the habit of doing at least 2 tours a week. And I'll try and do them later on in the day as well. So thank you very much for coming on my tour. Have a great day, what's left of it. And hopefully I'll catch up with some of you soon, okay? Whoa. Private about 30 people, no luck, Mick. Remember,